Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the measures that have been instituted by the Center for Disease Control and the WHO in combating the spread of coronavirus. We know that this virus originated from China and ever since stuck with us. From the look of things, it doesn't seem like we are going to eradicate this virus any moment soon. So we are stuck with it at least for now until we figure out a potent vaccine to protect ourselves and devise a treatment plan to take care of infected people. But until then, stay safe. Now, before I go into details, I would like to discuss a little bit about the propagation, the mode of transmission of coronavirus. We know it's an airborne disease, which means it's transmitted through the respiratory tract. So this virus lodges in the respiratory tract, especially at the back of the nose. That's why when we're trying to diagnose people with this viral infection, we take a sample from the back of the nose and then look for the presence of the virus. So normally people in the first couple of days do not show any symptoms, but they come down with these symptoms, which include fever, cough, and shortness of breath after a couple of days. Normally, when we cough or sneeze or talk, we eject forcefully millions of droplets of moisture into the air around us. Some of these droplets are quite big and they tend to fall faster due to gravity. Others are very small and they tend to hang in mid-air for a considerable amount of time. Now, when an infected patient sneezes or coughs, and assuming he's not wearing any face mask, he's sending out tons of fine droplets, aerosols that are containing viral particles in them, and this can potentially infect the next person who comes in contact with this virus without wearing a face mask. So that's why we have to stress the need for one to wear some of this protective equipment, especially face mask, and practice some other behavior like hand hygiene. This will go a long way in mitigating the spread of this virus. Now, let's discuss about some of these protective measures. The first is face mask. Now, face mask comes in different sizes and types. We have the N95 mask, which is quite effective at controlling the spread of this virus. It has a very high efficiency in trapping and filtering of viral particles. When compared to the other masks, it is very, very, very effective. Now, the other masks include surgical masks, and this time around we are seeing a lot of designers face masks, some of which have filters while others do not. Now, these other masks do not offer the same protection when compared with N95 masks, but the good thing is that it's still better than nothing. Now, you may probably not come in contact with N95 masks because they are very scarce, and when you actually see one, it can be quite expensive, so you may not be able to lay your hand on a handful of them. So you may want to go for other masks which may offer some form of protection. Now, when you're wearing a face mask, make sure that you form an airtight seal around your nose and your mouth. Please do not form the habit of touching your mask every now and then. I do see people moving the mask back and forth. Maybe they want to talk and they will pull the mask down to their chin and now start talking, after which they will pull it up again. The danger here is that if the mask is already contaminated by viral pathogens, you're moving the mask will just to these viral pathogens, and it can propel them into your nose and mouth and get you infected, and you subsequently start manifesting these symptoms. So for your best of interest, do not touch your mask, and at the same time do not stop yourself from touching your face every now and then. Do not rub your eyes or pick your nose, and practice hand hygiene. Now, you are not likely to wear this mask indefinitely. There is a period beyond which the efficiency of this mask in trapping and filtering of viral pathogens dwindles. Okay, so some say after 6 to 8 hours, this efficiency drops drastically. So if you are going to stay away for long, you could as well get a handful of face masks that you'll be using out there. Also, I would now like to talk about hand hygiene. Now, hand hygiene comes in two forms. You may use a hand sanitizer to rub your hands, or use soap and water. When you're using hand sanitizer, you rub your hand for at least 20 to 30 seconds to make sure that you kill off all the viral pathogens. Now, there is a standard way of washing your hand, because you may actually think you're washing your hand, but in real sense you are not. So time and space will not permit me to demonstrate for you how best to wash your hand, but I'll be doing that in another video. So when you're using soap and water, you wash your hand for at least 40 to 60 seconds to make sure that you clear your hand of every contamination. And you wash your hand under running tap. Please do not use a small amount of water in a bowl to rinse your hand after applying soap. What you're actually doing in this case is you are redistributing the viral pathogen. Maybe you're moving one from your left hand to your right hand, or from the back of your hand to your palm or fingers. If you're going to rinse your hand, use running tap. Now this brings us to another thing that I've discovered so far. I've noted that people now wear gloves, and the danger here is that they ascribe a lot of protection to glove and then ignore hand hygiene. Now, I do see people pressing on their phones, or holding their phones, or dipping their hands in their wallet to maybe take some cash or credit card or debit card or whatever. What you are actually doing, there's a risk of you contaminating your personal belongings, especially when you must have touched a couple of surfaces which other people are touching. For example, if you wheeled a cart, or you moved around, used a rail, or pressed a couple of buttons while using while wearing a hand gloves. Now, we know for sure that your fingers and palms maybe are protected, but do not make the mistake of believing that you are safe at the moment, because the viral pathogen may have found its way and lodged on the gloves that you are putting on. So when you now press on your phone or pick up your wallet or credit card, you're actually contaminating these personal belongings. And if care is not taken, you may go to the next step of auto-infecting yourself and manifesting the symptoms of this disease later on. So, for your best of interest, please remember to perform hand hygiene while after removing your gloves, and if possible, use alcohol swab to swipe all over your phone or credit card or whatever you think you might have contaminated while wearing the glove. And this way you are sure that you end up infecting yourself. Last but not the least is social distancing, and this is a problematic one because it's quite difficult to practice this one in real life scenario. I mean, it's in a crowded city, you may not be able to distance yourself, say 2 meters from the next person or even people around you. It might be quite difficult, but if you can practice it, it's to the best of your interest, because we know that this virus is airborne and is propelled by aerosolized particles. So if you are farther away from people, the chances that when they are talking or coughing, that these droplets will get to you is quite slim. So you are better off staying away from a crowded place. Please do stay safe. This video is quite long. I never thought it would be this long anyway. There are other things I would have loved to say, which at the moment I can't. So for the meantime, I would like you to give your suggestions or opinions. Your constructive criticisms are all welcome. And if you have to comment, please do so. Your comments and your suggestions will go a long way in this goal of reaching out to several people out there during this turbulent time of coronavirus. You can send me private messages if you want to. I just need a varied angles to achieving this goal. Thank you for watching and have a good night's rest. Bye bye.